Welcome to a Fables a Day, in which the Archivist reviews an issue of Fables a day up till the final issue, where he will undoubtedly cry like a baby. And there is no restraint on spoilers, so if that's a problem for you, well then go read the series and then come back. On with the show. Fables number 76, Around the Town, in which the newest member of Fabletown gets a good look around his new home, and the people of Fabletown get their first look at him in return. And today we have Michael and Laura Allred as guest penciler and colorist respectively, again. In this issue, Geppetto is escorted around town by a hyper Pinocchio and Beast, Grimble and Mr. Hobbs acting as his bodyguards. But of course, picketers and protesters abound, wanting Geppetto killed or at least banished from Fabletown. So they head the other direction, where we see Snow White, Bigby, and the Cubs. Geppetto rails against her for laying with a wolf, and then complaining all about how horrible it was that there was a war because now those lands are leaderless. Snow Mike drops and leaves with her family. Pinocchio is still excitedly pointing out all the landmarks and everything, but Geppetto, being the biggest dick on the planet, complains about the noise. Bigby heads to the woodlands, and we figure out their plans. The amnesty absolved him of his previous crimes, but being a power-hungry despot, really it means he's going to do something again eventually, and they'll be able to crack him on it. But he's still shielded with a lot of magical protection, though Frau Totenkinder is working on breaking them down. Back with Geppetto, he's still being a grumpy cuss, likening himself to a god when a distraught Fable cries for him to be punished for killing her entire family. Not giving it a mind, Geppetto wants to have lunch, but no Fabletown restaurant will have him. Of course, while they argue that out, Kay, you remember Kay, he's the one from the Snow Queen fable with the ability to see into people's souls, brought up wickedly earlier, bumps into Geppetto, his glasses coming off so we can see Geppetto's true monstrosities. So many. Ooh, doggy. I get the real focus in this issue, if you couldn't tell, is Geppetto's first outing as a citizen of Fabletown, and it goes as well as you'd think after centuries of oppression and war. Geppetto himself shows how dastardly he is. He's a cranky coot who now has no power, even wanting someone executed quickly just for walking by. He doesn't want to be there as much as the rest of the town doesn't want him to be there. He still wants to be the great adversary, able to conquer the world from the comfort of a secret hut. The only reason he isn't back there is because of Pinocchio, who is such a hyper kid in this that it really is kind of sad to see how Geppetto responds to his boyish love. And that actually reflects fairly well in the art style. Pinocchio looks nothing like he usually does, but that adds to the boyishness of him. Granted, it's the Allred, so are there some good bits you can tell where your eye is meant to focus on, because the art around it is a bit iffy. Regardless, it's not Bishi Bigby, so I'm happy. Actually, I think Bigby comes out looking the best in this, which is kind of funny if you think about it in hindsight. Anyways, come back tomorrow where we see what it's like without the adversary.